Lyons, may I now invite you to open the exhibition.
Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard the figures of the achievement and of the requirements. I don't think there's any argument about the need for playgrounds, but there are obviously many ideas and many ways in which these needs can be met. And the best way to find the best ideas is to discuss them and to argue about them. The main point, in my opinion, is that we mustn't have any rigid standards, rigid solutions, but we must use our imagination. We must be flexible in solving these problems, especially in ideas, and also must be flexible in the way in which the money is spent. I hope that this exhibition will show some of the different aspects of the problem and also some of the different ways in which it can be solved. But even with all this, it may not always be possible to look at the problem through the user's eyes, who are, after all, children. What looks charming to the designer and to the finance committee and possibly to the layout committee may be deadly boring to a child of 4. Well, if I may, I'd like to congratulate the NPFA and the London Playing Field Association, as well as the LCC, for organizing and putting on this exhibition. And I'd also like to thank those who've contributed to it, particularly from abroad, from the United States and from Denmark. After all, the majority of the inhabitants of this country of ours are, in fact, town dwellers, either by choice or necessity. And so really, we must get together to see that the children who willy-nilly have to grow up in towns can grow up under as natural conditions as we can make them. After all, we spend a considerable amount of time tinkering with God's handiwork, but after all, cities are man's handiwork, and they're in much greater need of tinkering with than some of God's ideas. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard all there is to be said about this exhibition, and it only remains for me to declare it open. Thank you.
My Lord Chairman,